Overlap. Let's see. It should be updated now. Live content. Okay, it is online, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's continue on with chapter 3. First of all, we've got the fandom fight. Wait, actually, got the. Oh yeah, I left off here.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen.
I'm all out of juice.
These pharaohs ignite. I've been grinding off stream to get some ridiculously overpowered chips early on into the game.
Who's doing what where?
To get here before Phantom Fight, I would
It's a new day, everyone.
zombie hovered all the way
Prepare for
from
battle, yeah?
back from this landmark. I did a zombie hover glitch, which makes it impossible for me to hit any cutscene triggers, including the one that's down here, which spawns the Phantom Fight. And I use this to go further into Oriya to make sure I am able to get some ridiculously high powered core chips. So if we go to the settings, to the character settings, you can see I've got here a fluoride chip, which would give me a 773 auto attack stat, which is absolutely insane for this level in the game. As you can see, it's a level 80 enemy. So for the strategy I used here was, as I showed last time, this Humanoid Slayer, which allows me to have a 3% chance on every auto attack I do. I don't need to do anything else besides auto attacking. And it gives me a chance to kill the enemy, and because the enemy itself has I think it was a 14% chance to give me the fluoride chip. I'm combining that with my treasure hunter blade I've put on the F for now, which is only a 60% increase, so I don't know, that's like, it gives it like a 21% chance, I think, to proc. So that's all very nice and gives me a really high DPS early on into the game. For Phantom it doesn't really matter, but the fight after against the Elder Arachno, it could be very useful. So for Nia, I now want to switch over to a healer blade. I'm thinking of the blade combos I can do. I don't think electric is all interesting. Maybe I've got a fire twin rings, because I do want a. Yeah, I've got a fire twin rings I could use. It has a dexterity boost, which is alright, I guess. Would rather have Ether for the increased healing on the but that seems fine. It does not have good. No, it doesn't have any good skills, which is sad. I could actually open a few more cores. Don't know how much I'm down to now. 4 rares and 20 commons. Okay. Let's sort by chronologically. Of course, most of these I want to keep. I do want to check their stats, of course. And field skills are also important. I don't need this. Weapons master is really not that useful. Fire mastery is just one skill. Wind, slam down we won't use. We don't really want to use those anyway. This was interesting, I think. Rapid regen isn't interesting, but front attack could be helpful. I don't think I will be going for that play, but we can just keep it in mind for now. This I definitely want to keep, just to have a healer on the air, for sure. This is a decent blade, but again, I don't really see any use in the shield timers right now. Again, lances need to be better. Fire mastery with resist wind. That's decent for macros, but I won't be using Nia to fight him anyway. And Avenger is kind of bad. Also not that interesting. Accuracy, slam down, challenger. Challenger's good, but the rest of the skills kinda don't matter. Expeditionist, I can keep her to speed up some merc missions if I want to try them. Not that good either. Titan Hunter, Battle. I definitely want to keep a Bipal for sure. Because I do have a dark katana, don't I? Maybe I have it on Nia then? Or did I just remove it? Okay, I guess I did. It doesn't really matter. I would rather use Mega Eruption rather than Meteorite, but that's more a personal thing. Oh, there we get our... Yeah, for sure, just set this, and then I can just... Okay, it has a HP buff, which is actually pretty nice to have.
Looking forward to working with you again.
I don't know what other skills she has, but it doesn't really matter. I will use... It is Compassion. I will just use one booster at a time to give me just a higher chance of getting Earth Plates. Because ideally I want to get an Earth Lance still. Or an Earth Katana is also fine. What do you have? Resistance wind and fire? Oh, that's okay, I guess. My last rare core crystal for quite some time, I guess. A fire lance, but that skill really sucks. Come on, game, give me an earth lance. You can do it. And then I will just keep building until I've reached the max, I guess. Pinpoint weakness would be really nice. And it's really good on a lance, but sadly I cannot use it to gen into others yet. Prolonged fight, Challenger, Beast Hunter. I don't think Beast Hunter is at all interesting in this run. I cannot remember a single battle which uses beasts for the story anymore. Because we use Ariel, we use... What more do we have? We have some aerial fights left, we have... Damn, I really have to think of it. Because I know we have a lot of...
bring it on.
I think Zerkin are classified as aerial, right? I don't actually know. I don't know what Zerkin fall under. But then again, I don't care for Zerkin fights anyway. Like for... I'm pretty sure there's no interesting boss fight that isn't humanoids.
Okay, bring it
that
on.
I actually need to be careful for. So what we're doing now is just move on to we get to Von Samaima, and then we can skip shuffle back all the way to the start of the Titan. Or well, actually I want to go to the stomach first. There is some enemies that can drop outdoor attack up, which if I can get like one of those, put it on my katana, I think I'll be set. Get some extra damage from them. again, it kinda it's annoying that we cannot do any sealed shackle drive for combos,
Come out, come
because
out.
those would be really useful during the fights against Makos later on in this chapter. I hope we get to Makos. We should, really. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be there in one sitting. In 2 hours I could probably reach them. Because these fights, they're not too big of a deal. And actually I should get the amethyst chips from my tag mod 3 that I've got stored up. Those are just some easy amethyst chips to get. There's also a quest in Raya, a DLC quest that I could do. Missing in action Nopon, which I'm not sure what it gives, but I believe it has some decent equipment for me as well. So I want to go for that one as well. Yeah, so here we enter Fonsomaima and I will just get Truffle back. And first finish off the amethyst chip quest I've been meaning to do. Not a lot of good. Yeah, like I said, 3 amethyst chips and a blade combo boost, which is also a good good effect to have. So we want to go to Taurus house again. Gormod. No, we should get to Torgoth. Taurus house. And then
That was a slog.
he is here.
Let us go.
So we give him the tech mod 3 with acquired grinding the poppy swap. Or tiger. Now he will ask us to bring him back to Argentum. Or Argentum. And while we're here, we should also buy the what's it called? Argentum soup noodles, I think it's called, which only are accessible at like 4 AM or something. So here we finish the quest off. It's a really fast quest once you've got the items, but the items getting is really it takes quite some time. Like tiger grinding for 3% drops. Not the greatest. Yeah, so now we have that, and now, like I said, oh yeah, we should actually take out. I think I will be using you. You've got the Swift Strike and the open space, which are both 2 great skills to have. Do we have any? We had another one, right? Oh yeah, we've got this one. Inside, I'm not too certain if I want to use that one or this one. It's kind of a difficult choice to make. I'll probably use both, to be honest. But yeah, this is the luck mode, which is nice for the break chance. This one has an agility mod, which is good for not getting hit, and 146 agility is a lot compared to the 127 we had before then. That's 19 agility. Yeah, I will use this katana first, I guess. Because outdoors attack up, and this is just one fight. And outdoor attack up will be useful in basically every fight after. But the issue is just the element of ground, of earth. It's just better overall. I feel. I will use this because of the actually, yeah, I've got the Mega Eruption route with this. I should use this. I think it makes most sense. And upgrade the Running Smash. Because Running Smash is pretty much Rex's best art, in my opinion, except Anchor Shot. I will use Rigid Shield later, so I want to upgrade this to get... No, I don't think I will actually upgrade it when I get it, because it doesn't change much. For now I should probably use... Spinning Cutter doesn't really do much except just give him more aggro. But at the same time, aggro is nice to have. I think the damage ratio is much better in this case. And Butterfly Blade I definitely want to upgrade as well. Here we should put Acrobatic Bomber on top. Yeah, did I have anything I wanted to get really on Nia? I'm not sure yet. Like, I don't want to get this, but I will also just not be using Nia at all, I don't think. So I don't know if it's actually going to be useful. And the I don't think I will use Nia at all. I will use her as AI mostly, as support. Could go for this actually, which is 1750. That's a lot of SP actually. Anyway, for Poppy Alva, I will use the Amethyst chip, which does give her a little bit more aggro from auto attacks, and the bug rate doesn't really change much at all. So I think this is a good choice. This one would be even better just because of the it's like 5 times the damage probably. But this is such a limited resource and I don't want to keep grinding this over and over again. So I'll just use the Amethyst chip. And same goes for both Drone Mark and the Fire Bit Ball. Reduces aggro runs, not that good, but you want the extra auto attack for the more healing, I guess. Definitely want to give this Amethyst chip just for the extra luck, which will allow us to get a few more breaks probably on difficult fights. Because now Nia got 130 luck, which is quite a nice amount. You got agility, which doesn't really matter now. I probably want to increase your ether. Increasing luck won't do much for us. Increases strength. I could use Auto Balancer, but I also think this DLC is a bit too much. I could go for even more agility, to be honest. That would be probably a good idea. Actually, I know what I will get instead. Do I still need the dexterity? Like, I've got by far the most dexterity already, so I don't think I will be using it. Then I can just use... Do I've got any good accessory? It's the big question here. More luck could be nice to have to get a bit more break chance on the katanas. So, but I don't use healing art, so that's not really. Yeah, I will just use a wolf shoes for now, and then I know what equipment I want there. Okay, now change the time to 4 AM, and this one is now available for buying, the Argentum noodle soup. Let's buy 4 of those. And our Nasi jelly actually ran out, so we have to buy a few more of these. We can afford 4 easily. I still don't want to like spend my money all in one place, so a bit careful with losing it all. Go to 38 again. And then we only have to make it back to the cave where we found the Pharaoh's Ignore for grinding the fluorite chips.
Let us go.
And we will finish this quest as well. And like I said, the DLC quests have insane rewards for... And especially this one is like barely any trouble to finish.
Bring it on.
Though I do wish these Archer in Ignas did not target me. Please. I want...
No! We lost the upper hand.
Yes, thank you. Also, you can see there my agility is pretty high up as the enemies missed so many attacks. That's the first hit they did on me, and they've already been targeting me for way too long. So yeah, that's the power of agility stacking. Okay, here is the Garnacona. Giving me the MIA Nopon mission. There we go. And it wants us to go into this cave over here to give the Nopon encased in stone some food so he can, I don't know, go on with living, I guess. I don't remember why exactly he needs some food, but it would be nice if I can make it past all of these Ignas without being targeted.
No! We lost the upper hand.
Too much to ask for, apparently. Usually I can go by this one pretty easily. Yeah, that one's not that big of a deal. And these enemies should also really pose no threat at all. As we jump up here to the Nopon statue. I will ask us to offer some food, and Argentum noodle soup is by far the best item you can give. Oh, actually it was... Okay, well... Maybe called... No, this is only one. I thought it was only 4 that you needed, but apparently it was a bit more. So let's go back. And then finish the quest.
That was a slog.
This also just gives us some trust on our blades. That's nice to have. You don't have any clients yet, but you're already complaining. That's great. And let's buy last Argentum noodle soup. And travel back to Oriya. Stomach. 38. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to get was the legendary
Let's rest the spell.
outdoor attack up Oxcos. I'm not entirely sure if there's no alternative way to get those. There might very well be. I should actually check that real quick. Let's see.
It must have
Getting
said
spotted by these 2 Ignas, doesn't matter.
new enemy in the
Oh, this
mix.
time it did spot us, which is not that great, to be honest. Outdoor attack up. Shouldn't go too high. Okay, there we go. And let's deliver the last bit of noodle soup. And there we get it, out of the stone again. Okay, yeah, what I was thinking is true. It does not give us any way to get the rank 1 outdoor attack up through. Yeah, there's no real way to this. Okay, so now we got a white belt and a mooncube. A mooncube is interesting, and white belt is... It is nice to have on Tora if we want to go for a double stack, I guess. Anything else? Spike defense 2 is going to be useful in just one, and Affinity Max Barrier is nice to have. I want to give this both to the healer blades of Nia. Then yes, I could get the outdoor attack up, Ox course, but at the same time I feel like they should not pose much of a threat anyway. Just...
Off we go.
Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to get. You can go to level 5.
My attack is
And
stronger.
you have a nice level 3 actually. Like, gets up to level 4, which is pretty good. And level 1 can just be spammed if we wanted it to.
From power.
Let's look at the skills for a bit.
La, la, la.
Level them up.
I believe.
Oh yeah, Umi, she doesn't have that great skills, but she has a better level 2, which is nice, because level 2 is her main source of damage. And she has this nice effect called Power Effect, so... Bramble Spur is also good to have, and Flesh Bomb is... We'll pretty much never use a level 1, if possible. I could increase this as well, and I should do that during the grind for the classical symbol I want to get next. And that's all easy to get, and this should also not be a problem. So I will go and give her my first fluoride chip. This gives her 744 auto attack at A rank trust, a 31% critical rate, and a 15% block rate, but block rate really does not matter that much on katanas. So this is a great chip to have in this stage of the game, and it will basically be our main source of damage for the entire game probably. On most blades. I will get some Shining Star Shining Star chips, but I don't do that much more. I don't think they even give more auto attack. So yeah, that's great. Okay, for the accessory I wanted, there is there's a chest all the way at the bottom right of this map, and this will give us a classic medal. Why do we want this? Basically it will give us a critical heal, and if you've played the base game on just the normal difficulty, you will know how good crit healing is for like most of the game.
No!
As she gets stronger and stronger, of course, it will drop again in usefulness. But basically, being able to heal 10% of my critical damage is amazing, especially considering how high my crit rate is. Of course, Bring of Chaos has some stupid stipulations surrounding the critical rate. Like every consecutive critical hit you will increasingly lose critical chance, which that's certainly a mechanic that they introduced. I don't understand why, but they definitely wanted it to be a mechanic in the game. So if we follow this way all the way to that coral reef there, there will be a chest where we can get this classic medal, and after that I think we're pretty much set to deal with Fandom. Fandom is a pretty easy fight. It's the second or third easiest fight in this chapter, behind the Angry Driver in Valsamima and of course the fight against Arcos after the Elder Arachnon. So from here we have to jump down, and there just should be here. Yeah, there it is. And if we look at this, we find there's the classic map. So with that, we've set up Rex as a healing himself, with really high agility, and having a way to evade damage is just so good. For Dora, we will probably give him back the Nopon mask to give him aggro all the time, and auto attack damage isn't important anymore. We should prioritize giving him the infantry vest to give him more survivability. Same goes for Nia, just having her have the Abyss vest for more survivability is really handy. Now we will go to the head again, one last time, go to Gallop Pass, and I should not forget to actually check the the equipment of Poppy. Yeah, you give the critical up 2 and the fusion combo. I will change this for the max attack of Pyra, and I will instead give the fusion combo to Yumi instead. It's sad that she only has 1 arc score, but what can I do about it? That's the issue with common blades. Here the fire absorb we will change for a humanoid hunter again, giving just that bit of extra damage on Poppy Alpha, even though we ourselves will be the main damage dealers. I will just save here. I don't want to have to redo this fight over and over again and then suddenly outlevel the level cap, of course. So here we are, fighting Phantom, Jiu, and Suo. The interesting thing is you want to target Suo first, because he has a art that can allow him to taunt the other drivers, which is of course not something you want. We will make sure the entire party is targeting him. And we have to make sure Dora does not die here. Breaks you there. Okay, doubles, yes, there we go. Good earth on him. Like, use Furrow Blade to keep up aggro. Like I said, we have the best way to deal with aggro with our evasion art. Much better than Tora will get, because he's just an HP tank and I'm an evasion tank. And as you can see, our agility is so incredible that I'm not even getting hit all that often. And there's Suigo, now target Jiu. You just want to leave Fandom for the last. It makes it much easier than leaving the others alive. Hopefully we break him again, yes. And now I will just use my level 1. And yeah, the fusion combo in this point of the game is way overpowered. It's 15,000 damage. Yeah, this is not meant to be done with a core chip this powerful yet. But the game allows us to, so I think it's fair game. They give us a humanoid hunter when it really should not have. And yeah, this basically breaks open this entire game. And do it one more time. The nice thing about having a female katana is that their level 1 is so fast compared to the other specials. And this should be enough to finish off Venom. Hopefully Nia will switch back. Oh wait, I thought. Okay.
We're on a roll now.
So yeah, the scary thing for Marcos is really getting up this dual stash in time. It's the most important art we have. And like we only get hit, we only manage to heal ourselves for only around 40 HP so far, which is enough to give us some survivability, but as you can see we still take massive damage when we get hit. So we should be careful and just keep up the dual stash at all times. Hopefully we can take him out with a fusion combo, which will give us a bit more XP, which we could use as we will head into the Elder Arachne fight after. Well, first we have the Raging Alderan. This is another important fight. 16,000, which is barely not enough to kill him with a fusion. And there we go. And this is just the power of the common blade we have here. It does not have a good additive through the aerial hunter and the insect hunter, but the prolonged fight
I'll be more help in future.
buff through Swift Strike really makes her good. And we should just spam this level 1 whenever we get it up in order to increase its level. So the next fight is quite interesting. It features an Alderan with a pretty low break resistance, which is nice because of course we could just break them more often, and the more we break, the more we can topple, and the more we topple, the easier the fight goes, because they will not be able to hit it. The issue is it will enrage immediately on spawn. Immediately as we start the fight, it will enrage, and this is not that great, because as you know, in Ring of Chaos we have this Rage Strikes, and Rage Strikes is something we don't really enjoy having, because they get a 300% damage ratio multiplier, and they will bring down our party gauge. As we start this fight we won't have any party gauge, so that doesn't really matter, but the 300% damage really is scary. We also will automatically start on Pyra, because this is the tutorial fight in which Pyra gets her top Lord finally unlocked, which is why, again, Anchor Shot is an amazing art and you should always prioritize it, in my opinion. It allows you to just break so many fights. So yeah, this part really just walking between the two fights. The auto attack we have right now is so high, it really seems like we cannot be stopped at all. Issue is with this fight, I just remember that now, is that we do not get to choose our party members. It will always be Rex in the front, then Nia in the back together with Phantom. And well, seeing as the only top wall we will have if we were to use our katana is actually our very own Pyra. So, because without Tora we basically do not have access to the topple arts, as I have no good blades for Nia that can actually use topple. I don't even know which of the odds Nia gets that gives her access to topple, so even if I had them I would not know. Okay. I will just save here. As always, saving before story fights is always recommended. Also, that was really close to the cutscene trigger, I did not expect this. So yeah, now it's already enraged, and because I don't have a attack up in... Yes, I thought we started with Pyra. If we're lucky... Yeah, this is how the fight really goes. If you get rage striked, get ready to reset. It's the hard part about this fight. Once you get it in a good flow, it generally isn't that big of a deal, though you have to still be patient because the other rank can kill your party members. And once it does that, you basically have to hope it doesn't kill you during the revive. Which is basically not a good thing. So let's switch over to Pyra for now. I can just do it like this. And hopefully we'll get a early break from... I actually forgot something. I should use the art. Yeah, okay. But if we get a good rage strike, it doesn't matter. We did not get a good rage strike. So yeah, make sure Nia gets a skill in which she can start off with an art already available and then put the breakout on that one. Is what I would think is a better idea. I should also look at getting such an art on Rex, because I could use the dual slash immediately on the katanas. Go to Nia and go to a skill list and give her this skill,
We didn't do half bad.
which would also lead into HP potions, so it's just good to have. Enhance arts and... Okay, yeah, we were both on X, so she will always start with the... Also, I forgot to switch around my plates, didn't I?
Do it like I showed
Yeah, I
you
did.
and we'll be okay. Just watch this.
Okay, next time for sure I will not forget to both swap to Nia.
I missed. Yeah. I like your attitude.
But yeah, this break will basically skip over his...
Dual swag.
like, if you manage to topple it, it will skip over its rage strike, which is the thing you want to skip over, because of course it's a scary thing about fighting the other one. Horden's rage strike just deals too much damage. Okay, now we will switch over to Pyra and we will give Nia the skill.
Hey, we didn't do half bad.
Okay, there we go. Finally. Now let's hope we get the break again, because it can resist it, though it does have a very low resistance to break, specifically for this fight. Okay, now we have to hurry up with getting the angle shot. It would help if we didn't miss that one. Okay, there we evaded the rage strike successfully. And now this fight will be a lot easier. Of course it will still not be free, because I am using an inferior strategy, because overall the Lindora would just be a straight up better choice. But yeah, if we can keep it into the air, we have a very big chance of making it just fine. Topple it again, and use level 1 heat on the launch. Get a decent DOT setup. 500 damage for a few seconds. Yeah, the scary part is in Horn Dance it actually becomes invincible to break, I think. And break is breath is also another nice one. I hope we can get this in time. Yeah, there we go. And the poison's response from here really helps our survivability. Probably a break against him. Okay, I would like it if I don't get targeted. And as you can see, the horn dance is the very scary skill it gets. Is that the break round 2? And use a special to get to the potion faster. We still get the cushion actually, which is interesting. Possible I want to get this one again. As you can see, we're getting low health, so really want to make sure I get all the potions. Yeah, doing the healing halo really does help as well. Tank March is a scary one. And Nia getting all of this aggro is not that nice. Please break again. We can revive Nia if needed, but I would rather not have to worry about this. Get some good HP back. Hopefully Fandom gets... no. Okay, we can, like I said, we can just revive. The invincibility will last long enough, hopefully. It did not. We have barely enough party meter. Please don't start off with another... okay, there we go. This should be enough. Once we get enough potions ready. We don't have max affinity on Nia, of course, but it shouldn't prove too much of a challenge. If I can get this. Nice break. Evade this. Please break. I might die. Not having pulse recharge actually really matters here. Now that I realized that I missed it, I was like, why do my odds recharge so slow? In fact, I can use double odds recharge on Rex. Because we got the pouch item expansion from beating Dougal. I really should not die here this often, but I think it's mostly to do with having to use well, we don't have to use para, but it makes this fight so much easier technically, so because we have to deal with having Fandom instead of Dora in this fight. So let's go to pirate items, give ourselves a Nausea Pitch Ali. And don't know if yeah, also didn't have one. I could go back and get the Sparkle Sugar, but again, not needed right now. But I should not forget about it either, because it will make the later fights a bit easier. Okay, now let's finally beat this fight. Getting all recharge is such a good thing. Like, you can already see how far our double art has increased. It's an exceptional pouch item effect, and I can almost always tell you it helps out. I did not do it on the right strike, which may come back to bite me. But I also cannot see when it actually starts to. I can wait right now for a bit, see if it starts. No, it doesn't. So yeah, just have this like cooldown period to make sure Nia has her breakout up and I have my top lot back. There we saw the great strike finally coming through. Also, I don't know why Fandom has struggled launching so far. Because you should have enough recharge. But I guess the difference between no odds recharge and odds recharge really puts it out of sync. I think it probably had a bit better sync before. And as you can see, we can just wrap around some potions, recharge our anchor shots, and there we go. The launch I was looking for this entire time. So I want to get up to a level 4 special, potentially. On Lindorado instead. So I can use Earth, Fire, Wind. I think that's... I'm pretty sure that's the bad combo route I'm looking for. Doing it on the Hornets again, really nice. Just having all this time to pick up these potions and come back, do one auto attack, and then immediately getting the double up is so nice. Now we get a break again, followed by this breath. That was a bit bad on my part. I want to watch for this break now, for sure. I cannot walk over with specials, but it should be fine. And Nia will also try to get these potions. Yeah, and if we continue like this, it's fine. We don't need to go to Lindora. I have a very scary tank much there, which does kill Nia. Hopefully Nia will get me. Yeah, okay. She didn't get hit by the breath after she died. We should get these potions. They're all on our side, which is a bit bad RNG wise. It's fine. Hopefully we get another break soon. He misses the tank launch, which is really nice. Let's do a level 4 on this launch. Hopefully it hits in time. It does hit in time, so he will get a launch heat. Doing some good damage there. We can extend this fake combo by doing another double. Get some good damage from that level 2 from Nia. And hopefully she will break one last time. There we go. And now this fight is over. Basically have nothing to fear anymore. Because we are high health, we have plenty of party gauge now. If possible, I want to get a bit more party gauge. It will help out in the next fight if I've got a bit of spare party gauge. And I should also get the sparkle sugar I was talking about earlier. As the next fight is pretty scary again, and we don't have to use Phantom. As you can see, Phantom is pretty thrill. There we go. Outrageous fight, no issue really. Just having to deal with break, topple, and the fight should go over smoothly. We will walk until we get the landmark again before the Arachno fight. And hopefully we will have no issue after that. One thing that's good to think about is that this Arachno, it has really high damage dealing specials, so I want to get this aggro as soon as possible. Basically, getting any aggro is a death sentence. I would like it if these enemies stopped being in my way. There we have the Soul Crown Summit. We warp back to Argentum, to the Central Exchange. And then we get the Sparkle Shore for the 0.3 odds per second as well. Then we can switch over to the
Insane, huh? I'll follow you to the end.
I almost never listen to Phantom's voice lines. It's like, I usually don't use him all that often. So just buy 10 of these, they are really useful and they're very cheap compared to the yeah, I want to go here. Not the stomach, I want to go to the head. And compared to the Nospa Jelly, they're way cheaper, so I definitely can recommend using those.
Let's rest a spell.
Get
So,
characters,
shall we?
get the patch items, expand those patch items, and put in a Sparkle Shore. Fandom, you can go and leave the party, and welcome back, Tora. You will also get one Nospa Jelly. Nospa Jelly also has this decreases damage taken, which is not necessary, but it's useful to have at least. Yeah, I want to have the Common Blade on top, so I start out with her. And now let's fight the Elder Arachno.
Okay, time to take
And like I said,
you
this
down.
is a scary fight. Level 22 versus level 19. I want to beat this at level 19 if possible, considering how close we are to level 23, level 20. This is Brutal Lens, that's level 1 special. Queen Bite is pretty annoying to deal with. And I should really learn the timings. He misses the... yeah, as you can see, his level 2 Termination Blast is extremely powerful, and you really want to avoid this one if possible. Yeah, we get a topple, which is nice. Let's get this potion. Brutal Lance isn't really our biggest issue. It is a physical based attack, so we can easily avoid it. Yeah, we avoid the Queen Bomb with our dual slash. Get another Termination Blast. Now we have to hope. That was way more delayed than I thought it would be. And that's the difficult part, like about using katanas. Like you have to know the different cooldowns from the odds into the actual use of the art. And getting blown down is pretty bad, so we want to try to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, we miss it again. I do wish we would get a few more critical hits, so we can get our self-healing more and more. Another Brutal Lance. I'm not too afraid of this. Actually, the Elder Arachno can be toppled mid-air, which is just a fun thing you can do. I've seen it happen a few times before. And another termination blast. For some reason I got blocked, and being blocked just means your art doesn't get through, and the evasion you're supposed to get doesn't actually work. So yeah, that's the scary thing. I should try to get my level 3 up, because it will sooner rage. And yeah, that's what happened. Basically, bad shit happens. And yeah, I think this is by far the second hardest fight in this chapter. It isn't yet on the difficulty of Makos, but Elder Ragnar can really screw you over if it wants to screw you over. I've had plenty of difficult times in this fight before. So if we can get the level 4 up in time for its end rage, I can just use level 4 invincibility, which would be really nice. A massive auto attack does mean we will be getting aggro all of the time pretty much, which is basically what we want anyway, so if we can get some good breaks here, we can easily get past the first part of this fight. So yeah, evade all of these green bombs, because slowdown is a bad effect. We're lucky the termination blast did not hit as much as it should have, which helps us out a lot. There we get the Infinity Max barrier. We still have those Infinity Max barriers from the missing in action Nopon quest we did before. We can use that to get some more HP during that barrier going up. And yeah, basically at all times I want to just have that dual slash up in case termination blast does get through, and just so we can evade it if necessary. If this game would give me some nice breaks, that would be appreciated. Brutal Lance, yeah, it doesn't deal enough damage to actually be much of a threat. It's a bit too slow with the dual slash there, because I was still stuck in the other art, which is one thing you have to be just mindful of when you're playing this game. Knowing when you cannot use an art is always important. Got blocked again. This is kinda annoying. It happens because it's a special, so you can see 100% the 100% block rate, and basically ruining dual slash is annoying. I did it just before the yeah, that could have gone better if I did it on the Rage Strike instead, which I sadly missed. Like, this is my problem with katanas, they require a lot of skill to actually use properly, because knowing when you have to evade and knowing when is a good time to just walk around a bit, wait for the enemy to use an attack, just so you don't get blocked during the attacks. It is all pretty skillful. But I'm also here to learn. I usually brute force this fight in a very different way, either by just leveling up a bunch, trying to fusion combo it a lot, and generally just hoping Tora does the tanking. But for this playthrough I really wanted to use the katana, see how far that could get me, and so far it seems to be going way smoother. course, part of it is because I use this fluoride chip, which isn't supposed to be happening at this part of the game. Again, my agility really saving me in these fights. Having over 150 agility at this point is higher than you're supposed to get it. So yeah, one of the best things I could do is like get my party members out of the way of the specials from Wilfric. And so yeah, I want to keep them behind the Arachno at all times. There we see the Affinity Max barrier just tanking some hits for us. Of course that does mean we shorten the amount of time the Affinity Max barrier is up, but that's what we have it for, so I might as well just use it now. We're getting really low on HP actually. Rectifying that a bit there. Getting some good critical hits there. Allowing us to get that heal from the classic medal. This is probably a bad termination blast, yeah. And hitting Tora is not great. But at least he did not get out damaged too much. We might see a Dumbly here. We don't. Getting another, and you can see just how bad this is for Nia's health. Maybe a break and a topple. There we get it. Now we have to be careful of the Rage Strike. There we have it. And we survive. Because we used this level 4 at the right time. Now we can use Mega Eruption with Poppy, which is nice to have. It deals a decent bit of damage after this. And if I see any scary art, then we have Hellbound, which I want to avoid at all costs. Hellbound is a higher level of this special, which can deal massive damage. We get hit by this Green Bomb, so we should try to be safe for a bit more. Get up to a bit higher HP. If we can get 1000 before the next big art, that would be nice. And of course resist break because we fight the Hellbound again. Make sure we stay safe, and now it's easy sailing from here probably. We're at full health and the enemy is at enraged, so you can just see how overpowered getting a fluoride chip is at this point of the game. Nia almost dying here, that's just really bad. She heals herself, her AI is pretty great at doing that. Hopefully she doesn't get hit by this Termination Blast, as she doesn't, gives her another chance to heal a bit more through Downmark. And there we have the end of the fight inside. Let's finish this off with a level 4. We probably won't get a break. No, and we'll just use it here. Kill it. And go fight Arcos now. Arcos is a very interesting fight. It is used in the base game on normal mode for teaching you how to do chain attacks. Yeah, chain attacks. Why don't we want to use them in Bringer of Chaos? We actually do want to use them, but for a very different reason than we want to use in normal mode. Because in normal mode, chain attacks, if you've ever seen them, they are completely busted. They deal way too much damage, and basically they're overpowered as well, if I can say it lightly. However, the thing is, in Bringer of Chaos, or well, in custom mode as well, if you have the attack, or I think it's the attack
Bring it on.
stat modified to be attack power. If you have that modified to be above 100, which is basically just moving the slider to the right even once on the custom difficulty, some wonky stuff happens.
You're all mine.
And the major takeaway here is what it basically does is it makes it so your chain attack power resets to 100%, even though you're supposed to have 150% chain attack start when you're using Bring of Chaos. So basically you lose out on every damage multiplier you would have gotten otherwise. Again, saving here before the fight. So yeah, you lose out on a lot of damage, and getting damage from orbs is just not going to happen because you're in Bringer of Chaos and it takes way too long to actually get specials up and get those orbs on the enemy. Even though there is a 2.5 times health multiplier, so you would expect it to go faster, but it really doesn't. The nice thing is we do get a full party gauge, and I would like to keep it. I could use it for the next fight against Zeke, and hopefully I can chain attack Zeke at the very end, or maybe get a fusion drop. Same thing goes for Arcos, so if I find a good time to use the chain attack, I will. Skewer is the scarier of the attacks he can do, together with one that I don't remember the name, but it basically causes shackle blade. Yeah, checkmate. It causes shackle drive. Okay. I forgot which of the two things. So yeah, shackle driver is one of the worst effects in the game. Wow, agility, thank you. As you can see, you basically cannot do anything. It's just waiting out this timer. For Mia and Stora, we have blade arts that allow them to basically ignore this debuff, and that's why I gave it to both. If Nia isn't her common blade, she doesn't have it, so it's best to have her on the on-draw mark to make sure she gets out of Shackle Blade early. Okay. This fight is actually turning out scarier than I thought. Okay, now we break him, which is nice to have. Okay, now we do a level 4 here. We can take this into a chain attack actually, if possible. Now we have toppled and fusion combo, and because of the really fast art there, we can kill him in the next art with Poppy Alpha. Maybe we can get a few fusion arts. That wasn't as many as I was hoping for, but we get a round extension, so we get to get some bonus, something you wouldn't see usually inside of a Bringer of Chaos chain attack. There we get some great damage from the level 2. Yeah, katanas have very good aspects to them as well. They're slightly worse than lances for big damage, but I think that's fine for what we're trying to deal with here. Yeah, why Zeke is the better recipient for the chain attacks is basically his rewards are just that much better. He gives a lot more experience than Arcos does. Beggars can't be chooses, and I chose to do it on Arcos instead. There we have an overdrive protocol, which I could use sometime if I wanted to. I don't have a use for it right now, so I will probably not use it. Now we go talk to Phantom again, and we'll take him towards the next fight, Zeke. Zeke 1. Zeke 1 is an interesting fight. It has some properties. Zeke is a very competent driver, and he is this, especially when he uses his like wont fattening move, which is called I knew this beforehand. I looked this up. Where's why doesn't this show? Okay, well, he has like one very fattening skill he can use, and basically when he uses it, this is like a one-hit KO. Like you cannot survive it. The reason why we did not go to the level cap of 24, which was Agos's level, is because actually Zeke has a level 3 cap, so we might as well just adhere to this level 23 cap instead, because Agos is just that easy, really. He doesn't offer too much. His Shackle driver is annoying, but if you can play around it or can play with it enough, it's more than manageable, I would say. Now to fight Zeke 1, we just need to go through this tunnel, and as you can see, that quest marker is getting closer. We will put in another save, like we've done every time so far. I'm pretty sure we will unlock this, this locale before. Okay, and now we will fight Zeke. Well, one thing is nice about Zeke is that he is also getting increased damage from earth attacks due to his elemental weakness. So we can use this to edge out a little bit more damage, similar to Aquos actually before. As you can see, we deal a lot less damage here than before. We only deal 4,000 per attack. That's fine enough. He has low break resistance, so he ideally should be broken most of the time, making this fight a bit easier than it probably should be. But you can see how much damage he can deal if he gets his heart off. He is really not a free fight. It's just a level 1 to get some damage on him and to get near disrupt to her fire blade already. So we want to ideally do a level 1 on we want to get a level 4 fusing combo, and we want to stack this on top of the level 3 if possible. So to do that we would use Nia's level 2 after of course the stone from Dora, and then we follow it up with the level 4 from ourselves. I forgot the timing for Dynamic Spark Sword. That's great. We could survive that, so I did not want to avoid it. This is a scary. This is probably his most scary attack. Sonic 10 Slash, it kills immediately. Yeah, this is like his one claim to fame. When he gets Sonic 10 Slash off, you have to time it perfectly, or else you will just die. Which, I mean, it's not too difficult. He often will not even use it at all if you're a bit lucky, so let's hope we can manage to get that happening soon enough. And attempt number 2. I think we'll beat it with under 5 attempts probably.
Stay on your toes.
As I learn the patterns, I learn the odds again, and I learn the timings for evading them. Yeah, you can see our agility is starting to matter less and less. This is the one thing you have to be careful of when you're doing agility builds. Like, it can go south easily if you don't get the misses you want. I always forget how quick of an special lightning forces, electric circuses. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Please break him. Yeah, breaks him is also fine. Again, what we want to happen is that we break Seek after doing a level 1 blade combo using Dora. Then he doubles it during the time it takes Nia to switch over to her fire blade and use her fire level 2. And then we can hopefully manage to edge out a level 4 within the time the topple is still up to get a double stacked earth combo. And ideally that should really just kill Seek. Okay, so I think Nia has her... Okay. Now if you heard... So we should just spam break. And I was a bit too early with that. So now I'll only get the single stacked Fusion combo bonus. Which is not too bad. We could have done a lot more damage if we were competent. If I was just a bit slower. And that's the difficult about double stacking, really. You have to have a pretty... Oh no, he uses it again. And we'll die again if we don't evade. Now we have some party gauge, so we are lucky enough to have a bit of survivability, and we'll probably beat this fight nonetheless. But if we got the double stack fusion, we could have had a pretty decent GCF to get some high XP and WP gain. It's far enough. Now let's take a look at our arts again, our skills again, to see how far we are from this one. I want to get this, of course, but I'm not sure if we can get this because it is another 1000 SP. This would be nice to have. Actually, I think we're fine. I could use some strength. I think the level 1 and level 4 of the katana are strength based, so we can have a bit more damage. But because we're edging up against the 700 auto attack stat, it won't matter too much. So I don't think this will be necessary at all. For Tora, we will use this in case he just lands on a potion that will give him a bit more, and this will just give him more survivability again. This is what I want to get next for Nia, which is going to happen soon enough, and Venom really does not matter. Now we can skip travel all the way into Fonsamima, as we already unlocked this Fonsamima gate skip travel point. And here we will find our next enemy, the Angry Driver. It's, in my opinion, the easiest fight in this chapter. To me, he's never done anything threatening at all. I've heard for some people it he does get threatening, but I've personally never found him to be all that much of a challenge. At most he brings you down to lower health, but then again that's what like every enemy does anyway already, so it's nothing particularly special about him. And here we start the fight. After we see Iona. Keep track of that character, so it will be very important later on, I promise. So yeah, again, having 700 out of tank, it really makes it so that we've got plenty of damage output, dealing a few thousand damage every time we hit. It is kind of sad we don't have the ability to have better skills. Common blades, yeah, you just have to get lucky, and if I were to get lucky I would probably have like Humanoid Hunter, because Humanoid Hunter, Earth, and like critical damage, those are like the skill set and the elements that are like the most interesting for these kind of fights. They really break Xenoblade to combat on Ring of Chaos to a one different level. So again, we're going to try to do the same strategy I tried against. Also, this is a water enemy, so there exists water enemies inside of Xenoblade 2 as bosses. Okay, and now it's chance. Okay, Nia has a level 2 up, so we can just use an Earth on Dora. We get a bit too early of a break. Okay, this is going to be a maze. We will just wait for his Rage Strike. He cannot Rage Strike on the Circle of Healing, of course, because it's a healing art. So yeah, on the Screw Edge we will just use this level 4 and finish off the Blade combo for 51,000. Because you got the break, of course. So this is the power of just a single fusing combo. It would be much more powerful if we did a double stack, because of how fusing combos work. I wanted to double for sure, so I switched over to Pyro, but it was already useless by the point I did. So yeah, we just use some. We just make sure to double him now every time, and this fight is as easy as it has ever been. Again, low break resistance really killing off these early game bosses. And you'll find that later game, even with the better scope that we'll get in chapter 5, yeah, the game will still be plenty difficult. But these early game core chips, yeah, they've proven to be quite helpful.
Victory is mine! What the? You're done for! No fight!
And now we kill him with a pretty good play combo finisher. But again, because it does not end on the final hit of the fusion combo, it doesn't count as a joint combo finisher, but it doesn't really matter. These rewards are all pretty bad anyway. They really are of just a common driver type, and I cannot stress that enough. So we've got Droma's level 3 affinity.
I see.
Rocket apparently is maxed out already.
Read the battle.
Because I will not max him out further than that. Yeah, Insect Hunter is kinda sad we only get to use it once, but it has definitely proven it's useful. If you saw the damage on the Arachno, it was pretty extraordinarily high for what you would usually do in Chapter 3. And I think that's it. Yeah. Now we have to go to this accessory shop and we can get the Priestess Auspices. I should really get more than one. Yeah. These are pretty much mandatory in the next fight coming up. If you know what the fight is, I will soon update probably what the goal is. Because this is going to be one of the worst fights in this game. So we want to just keep HP high on our 2 tanks. No, they will be basically fighting Arcos on their own. Malos, of course, we want to deal with him ourselves, as we're both the protagonists of our own stories, I guess. No, but if you manage to get the 2 separated, they basically have a much more difficult time to actually. Also, we should equip the auto balancer to make sure we don't ever get deflected on our attacks. That's, I would say, pretty necessary for the fight coming up. So we will do a short rest here, and we will level to 26, as this is our new damage, new level cap, and I really want to be level 26 for this fight. Every bit of levels will help out, and there's no more fighting to be done. There's nothing we want to get before this fight anymore.
I'm still getting stronger.
We could try to grind the outdoor attack up that I've mentioned before, but doing so would really not give us enough experience to level up anyway, so I think it's fine to already level up to 26 right now, and I will change the goal right in a second. Malos and Arcos level 26 cap. Yeah, I should really pay more attention to updating the goals every time I beat a major enemy, but let's hope this fight will not go south, and I'm afraid it will. A few days ago, it was Lightning Leon, and you should go watch him if you haven't before. He is a great speedrunner of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2. He has done a 100% run of this game, and oh boy, that's something quite impressive. Also, I'm just getting the 5% running speed increase here, which will actually come in useful in the next battle. Also just helps us get a bit more speed going on with our walking, which is nice to have. We now go to see Cole, who is down here in the center, in this basement here. And he'll be talking about how he's dying and such, and then Iona hears this, and then we have this entire side quest in which Iona gets kidnapped and we have to find her. First, Pyra does the smart thing of just leaving us, but we will soon meet up with her again, as she has been found by Arcos and Malos, who have of course kidnapped Iona to begin with. And this will lead us all the way into the Myoma playhouse, or now the Alephra playhouse. How did I even get those two messed up? I don't know. So here we see that she's getting kidnapped as we rest into the inn. So now we don't have Pyra for a moment, but it doesn't matter because there's nothing we even do with Pyra, to be honest, in this fight. It will just be tanking a lot with our common katana instead, because of course they have the evasion, they have the damage output, and they've got the critical rate to keep ourselves alive. I hope, at least. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the timings for Deadly Drive, and Deadly Drive is like the one thing you really want to pay attention to, because if this special hits you, you're practically guaranteed to die against malos. And he also has a topple through Hammer Bash, I believe he still has that in this fight. Yeah, being toppled is just really bad, because not being able to do anything as you're just lying on the ground is pretty similar to getting Shackle Driver. So I did not equip the auspices, and it doesn't matter because we start off with Pyra in this. So we want to get, yeah, you can see here this Hammer Bash. It is so difficult for us to deal with, as it just makes us toppled. Also, we should really deal damage to malos first. Cause we need him to follow us. Like, come on. Okay, we actually really were lucky there, as we resisted Shackle Driver. And now it is just a hope that we... Okay. That's the taunt, but the taunt won't reach because we're too far out. We get the barrier, which is nice. That's Hammer Bash, doesn't do anything. Spiral Fat, breaking us, and then we'll get ready for the Deadly Drive, which should soon follow. Another Spiral Fat. And Hammer Bash misses us, which is great. And yeah, this timing is really important. You really want to evade all of those hits, because even the last hit will deal so much damage. It is basically impossible to come back from. Storm Ash shouldn't be difficult to deal with, doesn't do much to us. And Tora, please get healed up soon. There's the Hammer Bash stopping us, and the Engrave dealing some decent damage, but not being too scary yet. We should hopefully see that we deal much more damage to malos than the others to Akos, so we won't get the Great Strike from Akos at the same time as malos does it to us. Getting another deathmatch. Deathmatch is worthless because the taunt doesn't reach that far, the AoE is just not enough. Hammer Bash misses us yet again, which is great. Sword Strike, resisting the break, great all around. And we should soon get another Deadly Drive, I believe. Hammer Bash misses us again. Amazing luck here. And there we have the Deadly Drive. Evaded completely. Hopefully we see the absorb getting back, which means that Poppy Alpha is back at max affinity, which is basically one of the ways we can keep ourselves alive, by having the affinity max barrier. Every time they get blade shackled, we at least have this kind of protection for a few seconds a bit later. There we have Alpha again being shackled, so we will soon have another time where we get this immunity to damage. And that's really nice. As long as Nia manages to heal, it is all fine. So basically what we don't want to see is this Shackle Driver against Nia. because we won't get healing from Nia, and that's really bad if that happens. You see the debuff cancel on the back. Hopefully we'll see some healing again happening soon. And I'm just paying attention to what's happening on the back. And then we have another deadly drive, evading everything. And Tora is getting dangerously low. I cannot heal him, so that's the big thing I'm facing. I just have to hope he stays alive. Because if Tora dies, Nia will get the blunt of the force from Arcos. And basically from that point onwards, I cannot deal anything anymore. Because Arcos will go after me, and that makes staying alive practically impossible. So we will soon hit the Enrage on Malos. We will level 4 this Enrage. This Rage Strike, just to make sure we... Oh. I thought I used it, but I was apparently wrong. Then I can still use the dual slash to evade it. Okay, we missed it, that's good. Now we have to hope he doesn't use Deadly Drive in time for us to get up dual slash again. And we barely don't have to deal with it. That's great. Okay, Tora is doing great again on his health, which is very important to me. And now we have to watch Arcos. Getting a Xenoblade, which means we get another round of the Affinity Max barrier. All around great. As long as Tora stays alive, which is the major flaw in our plan. Like if anything happens to Tora, we will basically have... And that's Nia getting Shackle Drive It, which is the worst possible outcome. I would rather have Tora getting that. Now he's doubled. Okay, Nia's back on the field. Hopefully soon with another healing art. There's the healing halo, back to 1860. Deathmatch again, free art. Let's spam some other arts around. And there we have Tora dying. Now we have to hope we stay alive long enough ourselves. But this is now just a luck measure. We have to get lucky on the crits, and we didn't get the lucky crits. So yeah, this is how bad this fight can go if it wants to go bad. It is definitely not a free fight, even with the equipment we gotten.
It's fine, we'll get him yet.
So usually what you could do to ease up this fight is to make it so that we are overleveled. Then you don't have to deal with the driver Shackle Luck, but I did equip them, right? Yes, I did. So we could just if we had a tank mod 3, we could have like a few more percentage of HP. Abyss Fest is a unique item. We won't be able to get another one, so that's kind of sad. What we should do instead is give Nia on both of her blades the Affinity Max barrier that she still has, but we have not refined it yet. So we have a bit more of a counter towards damage in general. Yeah, the difficult part is like if Arcos ever enrages and he uses a Rage Strike, we have to see that from all the way up there, and that's basically the difficult part of the fight. But otherwise, it is definitely possible to deal with this on this difficulty. It's by no means impossible. Yeah, this is. So I don't think we have anything interesting otherwise that could help us. Damage shield actually is interesting. I don't want to say it, but I actually do think so. We don't have electric defense, which would be nice to have on Dromark if we had it. Sadly, we don't have access to it. We could level up Dromark a bit. That's also... Yeah, we don't use fusion combo at all, so we can use 15% max barrier, and same for this. Yeah, one thing we could do is halfway through the fight go meet up with Nia and Tora and do a mega eruption to make sure we have a seal shackle driver, which would make it so that we don't ever have both Nia and Tora in a shackle driver situation. But at the same time, I also don't think it is too much of an issue. Yeah, we stay with critical up to, I think. It's nice to have that 3% extra crit rate. And yeah, we'll basically have to just try again. One thing we could do is pre-build gauge.
Let us go.
That's actually a very fair strategy. I think pre-built body gauge will allow us to do a chain attack in the middle of the fight. We should... We have to get Malos' attention, if possible. Okay, now just walk away again. Let's take Malos on a ride to the other side of the battlefield. Please follow me. I don't know why he's... Okay. Him taunting there is bad because then everyone will be focused on Malos. And we basically want to separate the two to make sure we have more of a chance to fight them individually. That really just makes the fight so much easier. Because I would say fighting them together is like one of the most difficult things in this game you can do during a story. It is actually really, really difficult to deal with. Okay, yeah, let's stay on Lindora? I forgot her name already. I'm sorry. So yeah, we start off engaging on Arcos, and then we personally just start beating up Malos. This time we actually... Okay, yeah. Let's slowly guide Malos to our place. Okay, yeah, now he's fully targeted on us. And he will just walk with us. Okay, good. Now we have to hope we get enough healing going on to survive. Because this is pretty sketch already. Okay, there we go. Having a deathmatch is really nice. Okay, we get the Affinity Max Barrier, and that's basically enough to secure our safety for now. Like I said, Affinity Max Barrier is really great to have. It has such a great effect, and I always forget how long the evasion art is actually on the Rex. It is always much better than I expected it to be. Okay. So yeah, this fight is really long-winded because this strategy just it requires like you to not deal much damage because you want to separate these two and you cannot basically get a lot of damage there. Another deadly drive. Okay, I really thought I would get hit by the last hit, but sadly didn't. No break, because fishing for breaks is still nice. It will just make it so that Malos has to skip one of his odds. And again, we have very good luck on these hammer bashes, no topples. It's just nice to have. Yeah, we have another round of Affinity Max Barrier, and basically that's just great to have. There we have a break on Malos, missing the hammer bash. I feel like this is going to be another deadly drive coming up. First we have the deathmatch. Got broken out of that. I thought I heard Zora toppling macros, but that wasn't the case. Okay, there we have the deadly drive again. And yeah, as soon as you see that pop up, you can basically just... Okay, there we actually topple Akos, which is nice. So yeah, deadly drive, as soon as you see the message pop up, you can just use the dual slash and be over with. But yeah, like I said, pretty amazing luck on the Malos side at least. Also the Akos side seems to go fine this time around. Another missed hammer bash topple. We have another break. And there we have some massive damage from Akos. That's one of the scary things he can do. He still can do a lot of damage. But you basically just want to hope he does not... Okay, yeah. We get the debuff cancel from Dromark, which is amazing to have. And like I said, we could help out and do a level... and get the Seal's Shackled Driver effect, which would actually be really nice to have, but we also should be afraid of Malos actually taunting the rest. So we get Fusion Combat by Malos, which doesn't actually have much consequences at all. Okay, we evade the hammer bash, rage strike, and we immediately follows it up in a deadly drive, of course. Previously, I've seen Malos get multiple deadly drives in a row during a chain attack. I don't know why that is a thing, but apparently it is. I don't enjoy it, but it exists. If I Shackled Driver on Tora is fine. I did not see it on Nia, so that's the important part. Okay. Did he? No, okay. Did not. Tora getting toppled is not a good thing. Okay, Shackled Driver resist. Now I'm mostly paying attention to the backside of the fight again. Okay, he gets toppled again, that's nice. Deadly drive, evaded. And this is basically how the fight should go ideally. Like Tora and Nia staying on my side for most of the fights. A lot of potions I see spawning. That's also good. And I should go for a level 4 in case I see the Rage Strike appear there. Yeah, again, getting the great debuff resist. And now I should be paying attention to my own health again, because I'm pretty low. So I can use a level 4 to get some health back if possible. And I see the absorb damage, so I know I have a bit of survivability left. And oh boy, this is so close now. Zora getting hit a lot. It's not good, but if I can survive for long enough. We get checkmated and I get hit by this shackle drive, which is really bad. And I probably will die here now. All because I made a major misplay. Yeah, there we go. It is over now. We were pretty close to killing Malos, but he still needs to take a lot more damage to actually die. And there we get another shackle drive, which is just funny. But I'm closer than I would expect it to. We can use a volcano, hopefully. Get some potions to spawn. And yeah, we need to go like about halfway through the A to actually kill Malos there. But it's proof it's working out. Yeah, the special there was a pretty major misplay. I should have waited a bit longer. Then I wouldn't have gotten hit right after, because I panicked and I did not wait just a few seconds. I should wait like half a second, maybe even less, to actually use the dual slash, but I was just a bit too hasty on that one, and that's my fault really.
It's never any fun when we're in it together, Malos. You down. I don't know.
I should.
Focusing on target.
Wow, Mallow. Yes. So much for
Feral blade. You'll mess up. Much obliged.
Okay, I would like it if I didn't get targeted by Arcos. Okay, I did not. Okay, now let's hope I can survive these first few seconds. Okay, there we go. We have the absorb again. I barely realized I got deadly drived. Okay. And we have another attempt at this fight. Double shackle blade, interesting. Like, I wonder if there's some way I could, increase the affinity of the blades through love sources, because I've got enough love sources that I could just use, and this would just allow me to build up affinity a bit faster in battles, so I would get the affinity max barrier back just slightly faster. We're getting really bad luck this time with this shackle drivers. And Nia is of course not on drone mark, so she won't get any of her healing hearts up in time probably. If that was actually a break, that would be nice. Okay, let's see if he will get his drive soon. Okay, I don't think it was Nia this time getting hit by the... Yeah, okay, she wasn't. And there's a bit of a chance still, although I don't suppose my chances are too big for this time. Although, he is back on 1600 damage, 1600 HP, which is pretty good. Both resisting Shackle Driver, that's really good. Ooh, I almost got hit into the Deadly Drive. Okay, we get back to the Infinity Max barrier, which is great. And now we basically seem to have a pretty big attempt on our hands again. Yeah, that max heal is very good. Both resisting Shackle Driver again. I don't think level 26 helps them increase the chance of actually getting resist. I don't know what my blade was doing there. Again, I'm not too worried about Poppy getting Shackle Blade. Me getting toppled is pretty scary. If anyone wants to get that potion, would be nice. I don't think anyone will. Nia gets Shackle Driver again, which is really bad, like I've said before many times now. Getting hit with Storm Edge, also not great. Okay, Nia gets back. Hopefully gets to do some healing. Dromark is out again. This is nice. Yeah, there we have our Absorb. Back again. Which is so massive. It makes Infinity Max Barrier one of my favorite skills in the game. Because it is so versatile. Like if you have to deal with Shackle Blades, you might as well have this. Okay. Now, again the Hammer Bash, we use the level 4 again. This time we actually... And we see that the Deadly Drive almost always immediately follows after the Raise Strike, which is really funny to me. Like, there is no AI reason to do that. Ooh, both getting Shackle Driver is very bad. We get debuff cancel on Tora, but again, Tora is just there to be high defense and just survive everything more than being there for any damage. Shackle Blade is bad. Right now I want them to survive for a bit more. Both getting resist there is really good. I hope their blades will soon get out of Shackle. So Nia can swap again to Dromark to get the instant healing art back. Okay. That's a really nice topple there from Nia and Tora. And I did not get the dual slash in time because I got broken just before. Now Nia will be hit. No, he won. That's interesting. But I have no way of actually surviving this now. Yeah, there goes Tora, and we'll have to do another reset. And I hope you can now see why this is by far the most difficult fight in the entire chapter 3. Like, it takes a long time and you need to really pay attention to not die at all. If you die, you pretty much have to reset again. And yeah, basically ends up being a very difficult fight. So what I said I was maybe interested in doing is unlocking more of this skill. The physical and ether defense up is really nice to have actually. 6%, it's a straight up 6%. So you can see this is now 30% ether and physical defense, but that will just be raised and just gets less damage incoming pretty much. What more do we have? We have emergency guard 3, which is nice, and the affinity max barrier 3. One thing I was tempting to do was actually changing the odds of Dora, and I will be thinking about it right now. Steady drill, I don't think. Actually, I think I would rather have it like this. Because spinning cutter is just not that great anyway. And rigid shield, it allows us to have Dora heal himself just a little bit. So we have this active for a short time. 6% is not that much, it's like 50 HP or something. But it's probably better than nothing. And the other thing we could do is pre-build gauge, but pre-building gauge is a really it is a really annoying technique. We need to deal enough damage to malos to get him to actually target us for a long time, because otherwise he will just lose interest in us. And this should be enough. He should be very interested in us now and go on a walk. We were just in time to ignore the checkmate, which is nice. So please come here. Yeah, I'm already taunted. You can use it again. Xenoblade on Poppy is fine. So yeah, basically it's both a numbers game and just straight up luck. And there is you can actually decide to only use Trademark, because then you have this guaranteed debuff cancel, but you also have the issue of Nia only having one active healing art, so she cannot switch immediately to reset her art cooldown if you are ever in a precarious situation. So it is basically just something you have to weigh off. And because I already know that this fight is completely possible with this current setup, I mean, the only thing I did wrong was just being hasty, which I shouldn't be against macros, and I know this. I hope we get Tora healed up again soon. I was gonna say, it doesn't seem likely actually. But then Nia came through just in time. So I hope he gets affinity back with okay, he topples, so they're safe for a bit. And we are just in time to actually evade the deadly drive. Yeah, it's really annoying, because if you're just a bit too late, he will already start hitting you, and when you're starting to get hit, you cannot do anything, and you will guaranteed die to this deadly drive. So yeah, now we are using a bit of the absorption health, but it doesn't matter too much. Also my break RNG seems to go really well over actually. And the auto balancer just makes it so you can properly always hit malos. This fight is a lot more annoying if you don't have it. Please don't deadly drive me now. Okay, it doesn't seem like you want to. So yeah, you just want to see which arts he's using and then decide if you can spare actually a dual slash or not after. Or if you should just wait until the art is over. Because some arts just come out too quickly to actually be able to do a different art in the meantime. Yeah, like you can see, the first art, the first hit that Malos does is the one you really want to evade, and you want to build up the dual slash before the end of before you do the level 4. Okay, that's. Okay, we actually got hit by the first hit of the race strike, but we managed to evade this again. And there we have it again. Like, he seems to really enjoy using that drive immediately after you use the level 4, which could just be bias, but it seems like it's actually the case. Let's hope it doesn't hit us. Okay. We still have Mia alive, so we should see Thor's health go up soon enough. Yeah. Both getting Xenoblade is not optimal. I would rather have it just be one of them. Because getting Xenoblade is actually very detrimental and it removes a lot of buffs you get from max affinity and such.
Your future is already written.
Both getting Xenoblade is really bad, and you can see how much damage Aquas can deal suddenly. Okay, he's using Richard's shield, which is nice. And I can see it actually being useful now. Are you not going to use Deadly Drive soon? There we go. He survived another round of Shackle Drive. Shackle Drive, no. Deadly Drive. So when Malos is about when his health bar is like at S, we should be able to use a level 4 to end it off. But I will wait just a bit longer than that. Okay, now I'll just auto attack again. That's a special, so you cannot immediately use Deadly Drive again. Tora getting hit for lots of damage again. It's very scary to see. Okay, we get absorbed. That's a good. And we get that match. Probably the best special he can do. Because basically it just takes too long and it does not actually give any effect. Spirals of that should be fine. Another Deadly Drive and we survive once more. It's unlikely he will actually get it off once more, but I will not be too hasty this time either. Like, we already died once to him. And we have to hope. So yeah, we use some arts here to get our HP up again, because we're getting pretty low. Okay. And now we get Engrave, which is fine. Okay, and we should enter the end game of this fight. Once it reaches the O, I will use a level 4. Keep the dual slash active. Okay, we have deathmatch, which is, like I said, fine, slow. Get a bit more time, and then we use our level 4. And this should be pretty much enough to end this fight. And there we go. We actually beat it. We beat Marcos on Bringer of Chaos at level cap damage. Yeah. This is the power of katanas, and you can do this fight with a lesser core chip. But because this is all within the rules, I don't feel like it's cheating at all. This fight, it's, well, I would say impossible to lose, and frankly I would be right. Yeah, Mifra has impossibly high agility here. She pretty much cannot get hit, and yeah, basically if you stay on Mifra, you can see she deals massive damage. Even more than we would do on Lindora, which, mind you, has the 700 attack on her. By no way should she be outclassed by both Mifra. This is basically how this fight ends, and it's great. I'm really glad this is just how they handled it. Phase 1 is already so much of a pain that I don't think I could handle having to go all the way to 0 on this fight. But yeah, it does make for a pretty boring fight, I guess. We can use a level 4 here, which is... You can see how slow Mifra's level 4 is, and if you remember how fast the one of Byra is, like, it does not compare. So I'm not even sure if I've ever seen Tora and Nia die, but if it can happen, I suppose it will be very funny. I think it will happen. Usually I aggro for both of them. Hey, Malos, can you please focus on me? Well, just get deadly drived. Goodbye, Dora. I don't care. So yeah, you can see everything is missing. So yeah, we use the special that we use in the cutscene after, which I always find funny. And yeah, we got a 1300. Yeah, this is a deadly drive, you know, the thing that we were scared of previously. We just stand here taking it, the full force of it. So yeah, this is Mifra on steroids, and this fight is basically a joy. And one thing I did see, and which I was really intrigued by, from Lightning Leon's Bringer of Chaos No DLC speedrun, which he did not finish, he mentioned the possibility to actually grind levels on this fight, and I think that's actually hilarious. I think that's such a good idea. Like, I've never come up with it myself. When I heard it, I was like, wow, I cannot believe I did not ever think about that. The story fights, they give so much more XP than any other fight pretty much will. So they're great for actually grinding levels. Yeah, and I'm basically not even paying attention to this fight. It is just there to show off how powerful Mifra is, and of course she's not actually this powerful. I think it is a funny showcase of how powerful Mifra can be, even if it's just obviously way overpowered. It is very reminiscent of the fight with Numa in Chapter 9, Chapter 7, where you pretty much are invincible. No possibility to die either. And similar to that one, you only need to go to level. You only need to get to half health on the boss. Also, they're spamming Deadly Drive a lot more than they did previously, which I don't know what's up with that. If that's actually a thing they're coded to do in this part of the fight or not. Yeah, Nia is just staying alive, which is also very funny to me. Previously she struggled a lot with... Oh no, she didn't actually struggle with staying alive. That was Tora, and Tora's dead again. Our tank showing off he's not actually a tank. Also, yeah, running smash is pretty much the best art you can spam here. It being both AoE and being Ether based. And you can see that the Ether damage skills much better. That's 2k with a crit. So yeah, 2k with a crit compared to just 2k without a crit. With slightly worse cooldown. But yeah, because of the 2.5 times multiplier on the HP, this fight does drag on quite a bit. Like, yeah, Mifra gets a very good core chip in this fight and becomes invincible, but that's not enough to save the speed of this fight. And it just shows how ridiculous their HP totals are for this fight. Like, sure, it is horrible because of the... Why do you keep resisting my topos? I don't like that. What was I going to say? What? You can actually die to this? Oh my god. I've never seen you getting hit. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
It's fine, we'll get him yet.
Try to do it properly this time.
So I don't know if we get the superpowered Mifra here. I think so. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, I was scared for a moment. I was like, oh no, please don't have we redo this entire fight again. Okay. So you just take down Akos first. And then take down my... I did not know you can die. I don't even ever see myself getting hit. And then suddenly I just die out of nowhere. I guess there is a point in actually keeping potions on the field. That's something I'm actually... yeah, that should be a 1 KO on Tora, but against me? No way, right? And it shouldn't have anything to do with only having 1 by 4 life, because I should still like have my agility this high. It shouldn't be a party-based thing. I don't know how that worked. It is interesting to me. But yeah, taking down Kronos from this health is, as you can see, pretty slow. So a bit about this challenge, I guess. Go a bit further into detail. So from this point on, like, we have these chloride chips. We still have 2 in stock. Like, we can use it on whoever we want. And I think the first... Oh, there we actually got hit. So it's just a really low chance of getting hit. And he got it on Deadly Drive of all things. I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, that's all misses. I don't know. Yeah, we will use Bridget from the next chapter onwards. Okay, now we also get hit. I guess we're not as invincible as I thought. We will use 1 fluoride chip on Bridget. Bridget is amazing in this game. She gets another evasion art. Like I said, evasion arts in this game are busted. And being able to evade whatever hit you want is generally a pretty good effect. And it is really no different here. It is honestly amazing. But then, what do we use the third one on? And this is something I have not decided yet. I'm not be playing this too far ahead. I generally know how Bring of Chaos works, and I generally know some strategies for some fights even later down the line. My first time playing this, I only used only used Corfin on this fight. Whereas usually I see people pointing out like, yeah, you need Corfin for every fight. What I usually do is like, I will use Wilfric a lot, because it is, you get him after this chapter, basically. Like chapter 4, he will be awakened. And he has these amazing skills. He has topple damage up, he has critical damage up, and affinity max attack, which honestly all 3 are amazing additives to have. They're not great additives damage wise, but they still have like great effects. But yeah, that's also why I really wanted to have like this. I wanted really badly to have a Earth Lens, because I know this strategy is surrounding him. Common Blade Lances are great. Definitely don't discount them. But yeah, that's likely not going to happen. And now I'm kind of in an impasse. Like, what do I want to spend my third one on? So for sure I don't want to get it in Promark or on Poppy, because Poppy I will ignore for the first time ever after thank you for making up. I will usually use Poppy the entire game, pretty much. I will switch to Bridget in chapter 6, and then I will switch back to Poppy in chapter 8, of course, because Beautify. So Poppy is not really an issue either. Then before we get the Shining Star chips, basically I want to try to maybe grind a few core crystals, not too many, and hopefully I can get something to use the chloride chips on them. If not, I will use it on Mithra. Mithra is still very useful. She doesn't get damage additives and she doesn't get the evasion, of course, but she does have this passive accuracy and dexterity. Accuracy and, yeah, the accuracy and evasion buff from her foresight. So there's still a good reason to choose her. But I'm not entirely decided yet, so I'm not going to put it on her for now. But I'm keeping it in mind at least. So that's why I got my 3 Shining Star chips. Alternatively, I could also put it on Nia's bitball. Why would you ask? Basically, I want the... Please don't kill me. Basically, I want to have as much damage on the final hit of the fusion combo as possible. And the best way to do that is just dealing more damage early on, because what Mega Eruption does is that it is based on the damage you have on the volcano as well. The DOT will be counted on until the damage ratio of the last one. Keep in mind it's damage ratio, not the total damage. So you basically gain a lot of damage from volcano if you like have a lot of it from this. Okay, survived another death. I'm so paranoid now. So yeah, that's another thing I could do, and the issue with that is like I will not be able to out-tank them. Like yeah, I will be able to, but I don't know if the AI will as well. Of course, I am maining a katana, so I will logically usually have the aggro, but there's no telling for sure. Now we got one rare core crystal, and Malos, you can focus on me now, which is funny to say when you're using an aggro down attack, I guess. So we're closing in on Malos dying. But yeah, those are basically my two IDs. Three IDs. Like Mithra, Grind for Better Common, which I probably will do regardless. And finally is putting it on the fire pit ball he already has. Oh god. I saw myself getting hit on that first one and I was like, no, don't do it again. Okay, yeah, the XP is actually quite a bit lower than I expected. For a story boss, especially, like, usually they get a lot. Now if I can... Please get my level 4 up soon. Then in case I do see a deadly drive, I can just out hit. I can just level 4 it. Deathmatch. I'm glad Deathmatch exists. It's the greatest special he has. Just being unable to deal damage, it is honestly great. Hammer and bash meshes. And now we are inching in on the final bit of this one. You just use a level 4 because it doesn't really matter anymore, and I don't want to risk the chance of dying against Marcos. We don't get the chain attack, but that's fine. And that's it. That's Marcos done on Bringer of Chaos. With arbitrary restrictions such as only using common and story blades, and having a level cap that's equal to the bosses. So yeah, so far so good. I am actually really enjoying this run. I did not expect this to be going this well with just common blades, to be honest. I like I said, I've never actually performed this truthfully. I have tried some strategies, and yeah, I know this is a common way to beat Marcos, but I've never personally done it this way because it just takes too long. Thank you all for everyone who tuned in. It's been great fun today. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope to have a good chapter 4. Chapter 4, easier, but it still has a great fight at the end, like 2 fights that can mess me up still. And basically, this will be a trend in the entire game, so yeah, I hope you're all excited, and I hope some of you tune back in next time. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.